Yes, we are going to be talking about the National Emergency Act and why this will be Trump's last standing as he is cornered from the government shutdown. You know, this this act, the that's not even in the Constitution. Uh, it was enacted on September 14, 1976. Uh, it wasn't per se something that we considered law, but it was considered something that we would protect the American people with, as in if there was an impending doom, like anything that could endanger the American people within a radius extremity of, let's say, 500 people, uh, and they would be in danger. Like, let's say, like, okay, so let's see. I'm looking at the emergencies right here that were already uh, listed. Okay, so let's compare, right? The first one, May 27, 1941, and this is in the link in the description if you want to see. Uh, President Franklin Roosevelt declared the national emergency under the threat of Nazi Germany. Should we compare this to the war? Well, it took half the world to stop Nazi Germany. Am I correct? So this war was taking American lives because it took so much to stop it. So we needed to hire and put people to work and think and to bring solutions to the table. And compared to building this wall, the extremity of Nazi Germany in a war against to dominate the whole world while it's taking over resources of other countries and using them for the war, it doesn't compare anything to building a wall. Now, the next one, the current one, 1979, November 14th, the Iranian hostage crisis. Uh, President Jimmy Carter issued Executive Order 12770, freezing Iranian assets. Uh, these This executive order was put with the National Emergency Act, so we can put an embargo on the assets that were coming in. It could have been bombs, it could have been weapons being sold to extremist people here in the U.S. So Jimmy Carter issued that because at any moment there could be harm to United States citizens. Because how does this compare to Trump's wall? Well, it doesn't. It's just the law is to keep people from coming in and out. That's something itself, the country itself through governed people in Congress decide what immigration is, how it's regulated. Am I correct? Okay, so the next one, the United States embargo against Nicaragua. Ronald Reagan prohibited all trade between U.S. and Nicaragua. Uh, Back then the drug war was lenient, and there was a lot of things coming in the country that weren't regulated. So Ronald Reagan had to put a stop to that, and from that came more regulation, like the TSA, people checking ships and everything like that, like modern day Somali pirates, you know, something like that. Prohibiting certain transactions with respect to Haiti. Okay, that's something else. President Clinton declared the national emergency during the NATO bombing of Yugoslavia. Okay, well, there's a lot of shady business with the wars that the United States have manufactured, so we could get different things, and then some of them have backfired. NATO, which is you know the, the dictators of Cuba, have said that excuse me, NATO is a group of countries who think themselves as somebody highly of others, which is like Nazi Germany getting together, this and that, but with different countries already bombing and going to war with one country, keeping the peace per se. Uh, Now Yugoslavia, that's a lot of stuff that they've been through, uh, and I'm guessing I'm not really sure about this one. I think President Clinton thought that them they themselves were like we weren't supposed to get involved in that or something around that business, but he declared it in 1998, June 9th. Okay, so this one, George W. Bush declares a national emergency after the September 11 attacks in the World Trade Center, Pentagon Flight 93. This one is self-explanatory. If you don't know what the 9/11 attacks, bombings are, then go ahead and go to YouTube and go ahead and do your research. How did this compare to the wall? Well, uh, when they bombed the building, a lot of Americans thought we had to go to war. We went to war with Iraq, weapons of mass destruction type stuff. President, current president of at that moment was George W. Bush, and you got to see what kind of mess we got into, what mess we provoked, and how unstable the Middle East went. Uh, Something Hillary is involved in, unfortunately. Um, but how does this compare to the war? It doesn't compare anything. This isn't, you know, the war is something real petty. The swine flu. Okay, so October 24th, 09, President Obama was president. I remember this. I was in high school. Uh, the swine flu hit, and people were eating meat from pork, and I think they're when they kill the animals, they're supposed to be happy or something like that. Because if they're mad or something, they end up contaminating the meat, and then when we eat it, it makes us sick. So this spread quick. Those people in the United States, I remember they were always asking the students, "Do you have the swine flu? Do you have symptoms?" Like they would check with metal detectors, and then they'll ask us, "Are you feeling okay? How do you feel?" I remember that the nurses and everything. And this was in Texas. If people were coming in the flights or whatever, they were asking if we came out of the country, this and that. Like no, like that. I don't know. But how does this compare to the war? Like the swine flu is something biological. It could be used as a weapon. Somebody could have manufactured it. Who knows? Maybe it was. But when the swine flu hit, a lot of people were dying and fast, and we didn't know what to do. President Obama current uh, put the National Emergency Act in effect, and we were able to take care of that really quick. Now, there was there's one in December 2017. National emergency with respect to the serious human rights abuse and corruption. Um, I think this is the thing about Snowden. I'm not sure, they were saying about what they found out about the NSA and all that. I think that's what it is. Not really sure. But how does this compare to the wall? Anything human rights abuse and corruption? Anything about that? It's way superior than something with a wall. The wall is something that is going to use taxpayer funding dollars. It's going to regulate immigration. And those two things put together is something that what Congress themselves has put for them to regulate. It's not the it's not the job of the executive to overreach and pull through. Or you're gonna say, okay, well, why can't the president overreach on immigration? You're gonna ask, right? And this is so I can give a little hard-earned lesson for these knucklehead Republicans that are gonna say, oh, why did he do DACA? Why did President? Okay, the reason DACA it was legal in effect, and the judges even tell you is because the president or those law-abiding citizens who have in the country benefited from immigration, as in benefited like giving jobs to illegals, and the Americans are building those businesses who nobody else can take, who nobody else will want, but that business has to be there to make profit for the CEO, for Apple, for X X company, and that legal is gonna refine and make business and benefit the the one who is holding the business license is gonna make the money. That's that's the American way. That's the way it's supposed to be, and it's been going on forever. I mean, in Texas they employ illegals all the time now, so they can't get mad at it. I mean, all they can do is expand it, and in the future, the president could, uh, if it turns out if there's more executive orders, at any moment, a president can give amnesty from the executive power. Now they'll try to check him, but on on there's this word and law that I'm teaching you guys. It's called I forgot the name of it. It's Latin. It means in Latin. It means something, but in which the word it means we judge on things already judged on. That means things that are already judged, as in there's already verdicts on. We rule in favor of those rulings because there's already rulings on that. I forgot the name of it. Let me look for it. Okay, I'm gonna should be more prepared on this one. But it's a Latin word that means another word that says judge on things that are already judged on. But that's something that those people who know about law should understand, and they'll take law classes on this. The lawyers that you guys know what exactly what I'm talking about. I just haven't studied the term uh, I haven't been focused on it. But we ourselves make laws according to what we see fit and in benefit of us. They get extended because on those laws expand based on case law. We end up making more laws through the executive, and I mean, I'm not saying law is what the law is. No, what I have learned in school and what they taught me is that law is ever changing every day. So whatever law means in the 1900s, it doesn't mean the same thing today. If you look in the history books, uh, an illegal isn't technically an illegal now. An illegal back then was somebody who is technically doesn't have paperwork, this and that. But an illegal now is somebody who has paperwork, who is an alien, of course, and of course they have right to work with this and that. But they have privileges now. Who knew? Who knew? Like, America is built on immigrants. Putting a wall something Congress can get involved in and check and balance the president. Unfortunately, will get mad. The thing about it is that he, as a president, shouldn't be involved in immigration. If he himself judges that immigration category as himself not being able to do it, now he should leave Congress to deal with it, like, and not worry about it. Don't even speak about a wall. Don't even spend about spending money like that because we're already in debt. Why are we gonna waste more money and then we're gonna have to owe more than 60,000 per family, the family share of debt? Like it's wrong. Um, there should be checks and balances, and the reason it's gonna be his downfall is because if he does overreach, of course he promised this. He can't go into 2020 without building the wall. Am I correct? That's the impending doom. If I mean, I heard somewhere that Trump's legacy is worth $8 billion or more. Why doesn't he sell those hotels, everything, all his assets, even Jared Kushner's assets, put them together, and then he fund the wall himself? There's an idea. I mean, why does he have to? Or he can get Mexico to pay for it. They already said they're not going to pay anything. Of course, he already said they got smart leaders because a lot of people trust Trump. He knows what he got himself into. But nevertheless, like that, if he does declare national emergency, he can't get mad if they take it away from him because he knows it's wrong. If it's not leadership if you have to ask everybody what you're gonna do. Am I correct? A true leader does things without being asked to do, and at the moment makes the hardest decisions for everybody that they can't make. Now, I'm not saying he won't be checked on it. They won't take it away from him. They'll take him to court. The justices are going to rule on it. And he can't get mad over what happened. 2020 might already be rolled in by the time he gets to the Supreme Court, which that's what Trump wants. Depending on that, like and subscribe. Tell me what you think. You think he's right in declaring the emergency, or do you guys think he's just blabbering so he can get people on the table to deal or whatever? Or is he just talking out of his ass just so he can build drama, like that show that he made, The Apprentice or whatever? Is he trying to be an actor and try to act out some favorable dilemma, or what do you guys think? Like and subscribe, or give me a thumbs down, whatever you think.